Hello beautiful humans, it is Sassy Chats with me, Bethany, aka BXSassy2 on the old Instagram, and if you are new here then honey, strap in, hold tight, because this is not the space for small talk. We go in, we deep dive about those things that tend to be only talked about as whispers behind closed doors. Today's episode is about alcoholism and what happens when we drink. This is one of those conversations that might make you feel uncomfortable. It might make you think, and it will definitely make you feel less alone in the messy, magical world that we live in. So hold tight, get a cup of tea, and let's dip into this episode about alcoholism. There's not many times in my life that I've stepped back from a situation and felt 100% certain that I was in the wrong. There's usually an element of confusion, a whisper of self-denial, a murmur of different perspectives. But in the case of today's story, I was most definitely in the wrong. Oh boy, was I wrong. And to this day, I cringe and feel my stomach knot up inside, begging for this memory to disappear. It's precisely because this story holds so much shame that I'm sharing it with you. Because that's the sassy way. If all bad stories were vanished away with a magic spell, we'd have no guidebook for understanding how to do better. We'd have no experience to calculate feelings, morals and judgment. So I lay my heart on the heavy side of the street and I confess, honeys. I was 28 and a friend's 30th birthday. In a whirl of drunken slobbery, I remember cornering a man in the bathroom. I don't remember asking if I could join him. I just remember being in there and trying to persuade him to kiss me. He declined. And by midnight, I was in a taxi, travelling an hour from east to west, chasing down a random person I'd been hooking up with. Let's call him P. P didn't know I was coming, but upon failing to get kissed by Toilet Man, I had my sights fixed on some kind of sexual interaction. And so after vomiting out the side of the taxi, I arrived, stale breath, at the house of my oblivious hookup. I climbed through P's window to be greeted by his stunned and confused face. I vaguely remember forcing my way into giving him a blowjob. I then passed out on his bed and woke up in a sorrowful and sad conversation. On reflection, I'm able to notice that my libido-driven desires often bubbled over somewhere between tipsy and sloshed. Alcohol would help the hormones, the horns, rise from my inner sexual monster, and I'd hunt far and wide to get a fix of erotic satisfaction. But doing this, breaking into someone's home, not the first time, sexually harassing them, also not the first time, and non-consensually touching another person, I hate to say, I had done that before, was a huge reason for me to look at my life. I was mortified at my behaviour, at the pattern that was occurring over the course of my 20s, and I was ashamed of what I became when drunk. This indecency and this incident became my breaking point. I stopped drinking after that. It's been 7 years, and in October, I bumped into P at a protest. He hugged me, complimented my beard, made a cheeky comment, and wished me luck. I felt a part of me relax after seeing him all these years later. It made me realise how the regrets we store under the floorboards often smell far worse when we choose to let them mould and fester. But facing the truth of our own actions and taking accountability for changing it and seeing how forgiveness is possible can be a far healthier way to face those regrets. So after hearing this confession of mine, I wonder, how often do we let shameful memories fester rather than facing them head on? What patterns in life might you be avoiding confronting? And perhaps the hardest question of all, how might taking accountability for your past actions help you heal both yourself and those you've hurt? So I'm going to leave you on that note today, my darlings. You're getting this episode because you are subscribed to my newsletter, and I'm really grateful for you being here and joining me. Please spread the word, share it amongst the community to people who you know could benefit from hearing this. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow along on Spotify, and let's stay in touch on Instagram. I have one more Sassy bonus episode just for you, my beautiful Substack subscribers, and that is about ghosting. Ugh, it's a painful one. It's the last one in this series. Thank you so much for joining in, and until I see you next time, stay sassy.